Are you looking for an Asana demo? Well, if that's the case, then you've come to the right place, because today I'm going to be walking you through exactly what you can expect should you sign up with the platform. So I do just want to quickly introduce Asana if you don't know what it is, and just give you a high level overview of what it's kind of designed to do. So it is a work management platform, and it has been designed to help teams organize, track, manage and report on work. Now, it's often used as a project management tool, which is why I'm kind of covering it here today. But it's, the main premise of the tool is that it helps connect people and processes together. So in this demo, I'm actually, as you can see, I'm on the sign up page. So I use Asana with my organization, but I've decided to create a brand new account just to walk you through the process and what you can expect should you decide to sign up. I will be showing you the functionality as well, so if you keep watching, you'll obviously see how Asana works in a nutshell. So I'm just going to start with just entering some basic information about, just to get my account created. Obviously, you'll need to do that if you were to do it yourself. Now, as you can see, the next thing we need to do is kind of select our primary role. And it's quite an intuitive system. So the reason why you'd want to do this is because it kind of recommends features for you. So I'm a project manager in this example, but you can skip it as well. If you don't want this kind of out of the box functionality, then you don't have to proceed with it. Just do bear that in mind. So I'm going to set it up as a project manager. And as you'll see here, we've got some recommendations right off the bat. So it's, what's our main objective? And it's important to note, what you select here doesn't kind of impact what you can access and do in the system. It just gives you kind of your initial setup, if you like, will just be designed in a certain way. So we're going to go for project and process management, because we want to plan our projects, coordinate tasks and hit deadlines. But you can use Asana for kind of personal tasks as well, or even kind of on more of a portfolio level. So do bear that in mind. If you don't want to go for one of these, you can always click I'm not sure yet. Now, what I love about Asana is that you can set up your first project in this instant builder, so that by the time you've created your account, you've almost got something to work on. You don't have to at the same time, but let's just say I'm going to create a project for my YouTube demo. So I'm just going to call that the name of the project. I'm going to click continue. Now, these are the project tasks. So let's just say plan video, start recording. What else can we do? Make video edits, and let's just put that in there for now. Now, it's asking us how you'd like to group these tasks. So this is kind of pre-populated to do, doing, and done. I quite like that. We can obviously change that later, but we'll just leave that there for now. Now, here's another great feature of Asana, is that you get different layouts. So list is almost like your project plan view. Board would be something like your Kanban style of project management. Timeline is kind of your Gantt view, and calendar, of course, is just more for kind of tracking on a calendar kind of level. I will show you in due course, but you can actually alternate between those. So when you set this up in one, you can alternate to the others. So that's what I really like about Asana as well. So as you can see here, we've created our first project. It's as easy as that. And now we can start adding some contributors. I'm not going to at this stage, but if you wanted to add some teammates to this to work on this particular project, here would be a good place to start. I'm not going to, so I'm going to hit continue. And it's basically saying at this stage that there is an app as well. So you can get it for iOS, Android or desktop, but we don't want to do that at this stage. So we're going to click skip for now. So when I do this, you will see, essentially I've created my account, I've created my first project. And as you'll see here, I've started a free trial. So there's a free trial for everyone who wants to trial Asana. So that's what I'd actually recommend you doing, is if you're considering Asana, then get on a trial and do what I'm doing. Just have a play around, put maybe your project data in and just see how it kind of works for you. 30-day trial, you don't have to sign up to a plan at any stage. You don't have to commit, but do bear in mind that, and one other thing quickly to mention here is that the free trial does give you access to all of the functionality. So, you are getting an idea and understanding of what the tool can do. But also consider that at the end of your free trial, if you want to continue using these premium tools, you will need to either get on a paid plan, or you can downgrade your plan and just use the basic features for free. And actually the basic features of Asana are actually really, really useful, but I just thought I'd let you know that. But we're going to click Let's Get Started. So it's automatically opened up the project that I created with the during the account sign up. But before I look into this, I do actually just want to show you the home interface. So it works in many ways, Asana, to many other kind of platforms. So what you have on the left-hand side is almost like an interface where you can kind of navigate the tool. So you've got your home tab, and I'll be sharing that with you in a moment. My tasks are any tasks that are kind of assigned to you and that kind of need immediate attention, and I'll look at that shortly. We've got inbox for the communications aspect of the tool, reporting for any of the kind of dashboards and KPIs you want to track. Portfolios would be where you're kind of rolling up different projects into one kind of area where you can kind of view across a portfolio. And goals, you can start adding some kind of personal goals that you want to maybe achieve. On the left-hand side, you have workspaces. So this is in essence the ability to split up projects into almost different areas to kind of focus on. So as you can see here, we have a YouTube demo. That's the project we're working on. So your projects will kind of fall here by default, and that's a way to kind of navigate between them. You can also do it from the home interface, and I'll show that in a moment. You can also invite teammates to work with particular projects and your kind of Asana account. So that's something you may need to do. And there is also a help and getting started area where you can get further information. Now in the right hand side, you'll see any information about your account, such as here we've obviously got the trial. You've got the ability to add your billing information should you want to proceed on a paid account beyond the trial period. Obviously if you're not on a trial or you're on a paid plan, then this won't be here. Top right, you can click to enter your kind of account. So click that here. You can see where you're currently positioned. You can go into your admin console and change, important aspects of, how your account's set up. There's the ability to create new workspaces from this interface here as well. You can also go into your profile, your settings, and you can check the privacy policy out. And if you did want to log out for any reason, you can do that here. My profile and my settings, of course, will just be how, things such as the email address you use to access the account, and settings in terms of how things are kind of set up by default. So now I'm going to show you the home interface, and this is pretty much what you will see every time you log in. So you've got the date at the top, you get this nice little welcome message, and as you can see here, this is kind of a one-time thing that you kind of do when you first set up your Asana account. You basically have the ability to customize it to kind of meet your needs. So we can go into the customization, or you can kind of skip it. If I click customize home, you can basically change some of the background colors depending on what you like the look of. You can change some of the widgets that appear on this home interface, and you can have things like, so by default we've got kind of our private notepad and goals. So we can customize that if we wanted. I'm actually just going to, actually no, let's go to customize. Let's just do something now to show you what it looks like. So that's obviously a grey background. Green's a bit too much, let's be honest. Let's say we want a private notepad. Then we just left click and drag it on, and goals, let's get this on here as well. So I just left clicked and dragged it on. Now complete profile, that's where you go into your profile settings. I'm not going to go into that, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's just like you just go in and just enter your, some of the important things you want to do, and it's important so your co-workers can understand maybe where you fit in the organization, etc. We've set up our project. We can finish kind of setting it up. I'm not going to do that right now. We can download the apps. Already alluded to that. We're not going to do that at this precise moment. And there's also integrations such as Slack, Gmail, and Outlook, which you can set up as well, but I'm not going to do that at this precise moment. What's important to know though is that you can. So click finish and we get these beautiful little images flash across the screen, and we've got some kind of celebration, which basically means, yeah, we've completed something. So as you can see here, this is what we set up. You can also go into customizing further, and at this stage we can start working with the widgets in front of us, or we can start going into some of the different areas. So in the private notepad, as you can imagine, it's locked, so they're only kind of visible to you. So we could put anything in here from just anything that you may need to do on that particular day, or achievements or anything you just is on your mind. Maybe view this as a daily log, or just something that you want to bring to your attention. What can be quite useful is if you put the day's date, so something like this, you can put oh, let's do that. Let's spell correctly as well. So if I do this, what a shocker. If I do this, and then do a return here, then tomorrow. So essentially what I'm saying is if you put the date before your notes, you get an idea of when you entered them. Just a useful tip. Leave me alone, Grammarly. That's a little Grammarly thing here, a bit annoying. But it can be useful, but get it out of the way. So yeah, you can do something like that. So, just an idea. But private notepad, really good area just to enter your notes. So you're not kind of using you're not using a notepad or writing a notepad either on your computer somewhere, or maybe even a physical one. So your goals, you can start adding goals should you want to. So this could be something like, it's quite in depth here. You can put stuff like, let's just say, project to 50% completion. I don't know, I'm making this up, but you get the idea. The idea here is that you need to add goals, who owns them, the time period, whether they're kind of public to everyone in your team or just to yourself. You can add members, you can link them to parent goals, and you can get them to kind of here in this section, how will you measure progress towards success. You can do it kind of automatically or manually. You can do it kind of at a sub goal or project level, and you can measure it via a percentage or a numeric total. So we could save that goal. Let's just put that in there. So we know this is in here now. So that's great. We've got a goal. We've got some notes. My priorities, these are just another area for you to add some things on your to-do list. And the planning the video, what's great about this is it kind of syncs into all of the projects that you've set up. So for this priorities, it's looking at that project plan, and today, in today's date, that task has the plan the video. So what it's doing is it's bringing it up in the upcoming section. In the overdue, obviously if you've got any tasks in the past, then they'd appear here, and completed, once we start working with the project plans or across different projects, they'll start appearing here. So just a good idea, just to give you a quick overview of what maybe you need to focus on. Projects lists all your projects. You can obviously create new ones, but we've obviously created the YouTube demo in the account sign up, so do bear that in mind. But they will populate here as well if you wanted to navigate to them. Tasks I've assigned to, so I will show you this in due course. This is basically, the tasks I've assigned. This is essentially any tasks where you've added another teammate and you want to kind of track what's going on there. So maybe you've assigned Bob to task the plan the video. You would basically see here that you've assigned him, and you'd look at the dates. You can look at the dates of when all those tasks are due. And the people is an area to look at different teammates and just look at anyone who's kind of linked with your account. You can look at frequent collaborators, recent, and also favorites as well. So that's really, really useful. So let's delve into a project, because this is obviously one of the core aspects of Asana. And as you'll probably remember, I did 3 different sections of to do, doing, and done. Let's say that the video was planned. It has been planned. So we're going to check that, because we want to mark it as complete. So as you'll see here, it's kind of gone green, and we can change the status. Let's leave it there. And we can drag this down to done, to the done section. So let's say start recording. So you navigate to the left hand side, you get that little hand icon, left click, drag, and we're putting that in the doing. And to do that, we're kind of doing this at the moment, and the video edits will obviously come later. So I've just kind of manipulated it in a way, and I just wanted to show you how you can do that with different, these are called sections, and these are obviously called tasks, and you can add tasks manually as well. So let's say we also need to upload to YouTube. I just want to give you an example of adding a new one. What you can also do is, you'll see it's kind of a column view. You can also change the width of these. So that's quite big by default. You might need more, but you basically just navigate to that little icon there, left click and drag. So the assignee here, you could put in, that could be my responsibility, or it could be another teammate's. So you'd literally just double click there and you start entering. You can invite them via email, or you can select them if they're already in your account. Now, due date, you can select a specific date or a range. That's obviously quite self-explanatory. You've got a priority, so you can set, how important is this? Well, this is high. We can't have a video that's not edited, so that's high. Upload, I'd say that's high as well. Start recording, that's high. Planning, we'll say medium, just because otherwise everything will be high. But you get the idea here. And status, you can have on track, at risk, and off track. One thing I should note is in each of these options, so this is how it's been set up by default, but you have control over these options. So if you click edit, you can edit the field. So you can change the title or what appears at the top. You can change the description, and then you can change the options. So if I click add option, you can add a new one. And you can change the color here I left clicked on that, so you can change the color code should you need to, and you can do some other things here, such as adding to your field library, so whenever you create a new project in that workspace that they're available. You can notify collaborators when the field has changed, or you can also make it so that only you can edit the field. So that's just something to bear in mind. All of these can be kind of edited. Or you can add new ones. So these have been created by default. If you started a new project from scratch, you may want to create your own custom fields. And to do that, you just need to look for the add field button, and then you're basically creating it as new. So if I just call it hello, just for simplicity's sake, it makes no sense in terms of this. Actually, that's an absolutely ridiculous suggestion. Let's do percentage complete. Now the field type, we can have a single select, a multi-select, a date, people, text, or number. So I'm going to put number in here, and I'm going to change this to percent, sorry, because that's what we're obviously tracking with this particular field. I'm going to put percent, and the decimal places we'll just put as 0, and I'm going to create field. So let's say this is now complete. We can obviously put 100 in there, and we can put start recording. That's, to be fair, it's doing, but it's done, isn't it? Yeah, that probably should move, but let's just say it's 50% just for argument's sake. And let's say that the video edits are not done yet, and uploading to YouTube is not done yet. I'm actually going to do one more, just to, no, not in this one, not in that section. We'll do it in here. I want basically to add another number so you can see how the sum works. So let's put in start recording, begin demo. Really silly example, but let's just say, let's see, that would be 100%. Demo ongoing, ridiculous. Right, 75%. So you get like this kind of sum. You can change this as well by an average. So the average between these two tasks would be 63%. That's quite good, it's quite handy. Do a minimum, or you can do a count as well. So you can change all of that here, which is really, really useful. But as I say, if you want to add any new fields, you just right click here. You can do everything from single select to multi-select, and all of this from here, currency, etc. So that's how you'd build out your project plan. You'd have obviously all your tasks here, and then you start adding all your columns that you need. At the top here, you can select on only incomplete tasks, only or all completed tasks. So if I click incomplete tasks, it's going to show only those that haven't been selected there as complete. If I click completed tasks, it's going to show all of those. So obviously, naturally, the way this is set up is going to show everything in the done. To undo this, we're just going to click on all tasks. Another thing you can do is you can filter. So you can filter just by your tasks, those due this week, those due next week. These are the predefined ones given by Asana, or you can set up your own custom filter. And it shows you anything that's already kind of in place. So it's currently selected by completed on. We can change that to none, due date, etc. So we're going to put none, which we don't want anything there. And then here you have the ability to save the layout as a default. So if you want to use this across all of your projects, you can do so. And you can also search within the project. So that's useful as well. So that really is the essence of the project interface, project plan interface, I should say. One actually thing I should probably have mentioned is if you click this I button, it will show you some project information at the high level. So here you can put in your due date. So let's say you need the project to complete by next week, you can put that in here. You can also add it to your favorites. And as you can see here, it basically enables you to access the project more easily, and you can change the status. So at the moment we're on track. Obviously if you're behind schedule, it'd be at risk or off track. And if it's on hold, you can select that as well. Once you complete, you can select complete and it will change all of the tasks to complete, but we're going to put on track. And if you do that, it puts you through to this status update section. And this basically enables you to just provide a high level overview of what's going on. So it gives you this suggested text. So if we put status update, let's literally use it because it's a good idea. But here you can start putting added details. You could even add attachments, a summary of how the project's going. So this is just a suggestion of what you can include here, what we've accomplished, what's blocked, and next steps. So you just fill this out, and that can give a really good overview to your stakeholders of what's going on. Really, really, really useful. And you literally just post it when it's done. And you can set a reminder to update it every single Friday as well, and you can change who it's kind of visible to. So at the moment it's set as public. And also, I love this part of Asana, there's a highlights reel. So you can, this is all draggable, but you can drag it in. So you can drag in your milestones, your tasks, and you can drag in these little widgets as well, such as the completed task by assignee. So it just enables you to paint a picture of what's really going on your project, which I absolutely love. So I don't want to do this at the moment, so I want to go back. So that's all at the top. Now let's quickly look at board. So as I mentioned earlier, the best thing about Asana is it's all integrated. So if you start updating list, it will automatically update your board. So as you can see here, we have the to-do section, the doing and the done. So if you have, kind of Kanban project management, it's all kind of set up by default. But what you can also do is if you don't want to use the list, you'd rather use the board, or if you wanted to semi-start up your project plan and then move to the board, you can do so as well. And anything you update here will flow back. So it's a kind of two-way flow of information, which is fantastic. So you could add new sections here, you could add new tasks. And yeah, this is obviously a different way of project management, but you can use it if you wanted. Same applies to timeline. So I've clicked on timeline in the bottom left. So quick tip, bottom left, it will always show you what's kind of going on, or little updates, or what the system's kind of doing. And you'll see it said calculating the timeline. And what that basically means is it's looking in the list view and it's kind of creating the Gantt by default. Now the timeline view is fantastic if you want to create dependencies, because you can, if you see here, you can basically do that by using these little these little ball endings here. So for instance, if you wanted to have, the recording can't start until the video is planned. So what you would do here is you'd literally drag it to there, and you'll see it's created that dependency. And you can't, make any video edits until you can't make any video edits until at least the video has been recorded. Why is it? There you go. So that's now created that dependency. So you see how you can set up dependencies from the timeline view. You obviously can see how long the tasks last as well on the calendar as well. And you can change how long they last in days by literally dragging them. So let's just say, and when you do so and let go, it's going to mention at the bottom what's going to happen in here. So let's just do that. I'm actually just going to do this. So what's great about the timeline is it gives you an idea of, this might not actually, so this looks better, doesn't it? It doesn't, before it was saying that the recording was going to start before the video was planned. Well, that doesn't make sense. So this makes obviously more logical sense. If I go back to the list now, you'll see that the due dates have updated to align with the timeline view. So I just wanted to show you that's another way of working. You'd add new sections here. You can add new tasks by pressing this button. And also you have options of, again, filtering here or seeing specific views, only completed tasks. You can change the weeks that you're looking at. You can change the sorting. There's a color, the whole kind of color palette you can change, and you've got other optional extras as well, saving your layout, etc. So that's the timeline view. That's your Gantt view. Really, really useful. Next is calendar. So again, this shows you all of your tasks on a calendar view. So yeah, this can be really, really good for planning. And of course, you can start adding tasks or any notes in here by just kind of left clicking. Again, you can change to have your weekends on or off, and you can change your color themes as well. Now, workflow, I'm not going to go too much into this, but what workflow enables you to do is basically set some automation in action. So basically, it can show you how you can set up different processes and how they kind of flow into one another. So you can basically specify how you want new tasks to be added to the project. So it could be from forms that you set up, it could be from templates, or it could even be from other integrations and apps, such as Teams here, or some of the other ones that are supported with Asana. So you can, bear in mind there's workflows to make sure that you kind of minimize your manual activity in the system. So all you would do is you'd obviously select one of these, then you'd kind of map out what you'd like to change, and you'd end up basically going through this workflow. And by the end, you'd have, and it's, as you can see, it's like a blank canvas with these kind of areas. You can add new ones, add new sections, and you can change things like fields, rules, apps, forms, etc. So this is something that you'd obviously build out. It's really, really useful. I would recommend kind of signing up to a trial and exploring this if it's something you think you would need to use. Now, dashboard, this is another fantastic overview, or aspect, I should say, of Asana. And as you'll see here, I've not created anything. It's all been created for me. So what it is doing is it's looking into these, well, the list view and maybe even the others, and it is basically pulling out the key KPIs and data that you may need. So we've got an overview of completed tasks, incomplete task, overdue, the total number, and it's got all of these nice graphs as well, looking at different areas of your project and what you most likely want to see. So we've got sum of percentage complete. So this is the default view. Of course, you can customize this. You can add charts as well. If I left click here, there's various different chart styles. You've got columns, lines, burn-ups, donuts, numbers, and lollipops. You can change all of the colors as well. You can change the axis as well, depending on what you choose actually. So if I did a donut here, obviously this will update to group and measure. If I did line, then it's obviously back to your axis. Number, you've got values and things like that. So this is obviously like if you wanted an actual KPI metric, you could use number. But what I'm just trying to show you here is you can add all of the charts that you need to see. And I don't know if you saw there, you can download the image by clicking this button here. But this is all created by default. I absolutely love that. In a lot of tools, you have to create this all by yourself. But this is all kind of pre-created. And when you saw the sum of percentage complete, I know that number's a little bit ridiculous, but what's important to note is I created this column here and it's pulled it through into the dashboard as a widget. So it's just really, really good. It gives you that kind of overview, and you can build this out to have these kind of really visual overviews of your data and project, and they're really, really good for sharing with stakeholders. Now, messages is where you can connect with your teammates, and you can just, as the name suggests, you can just communicate with them, and you can have conversations about your work, what's going on. So it's just a really good area to keep it all kind of in one place, and it keeps it all within the tool rather than using an external system such as Teams. Files, you can attach all project documentation here. Really, really useful, again, for keeping it in one place. This could be external project plans, maybe in Excel, you could drag it into here if you wanted, or just anything related to the project that you think your teammates would need to see or access, just an area basically. So you'd obviously do this for different projects, and you'd have all your files in one place. I'm just trying to think, one other thing I haven't really shown, I just thought about this on the list view, is that if you click on the details button on a task, it will open up this interface, and this is where you can do some other changes as well. So you could enter your assignee here in the column, or you could do it in this kind of if I get rid of this 1 second, details tab. You can change your due dates, and you can add things such as a description as well, and this is where you would add subtasks. So if you wanted a subtask, so make video edits, remove sound imperfections, obviously that's a lot more detailed, you'd add that, and that would then show you in here, you'd see here, so you've got the subtasks, you would then see, so that basically closes this details tab. You will see this basically indicates that there's a subtask, and if I click details, you will then see the subtask here. And you've also got an area where you can ask questions or post updates about a particular task. So if you're working with other teammates, you can do that here. Other options are you can like it, you can add attachments, you can copy the task link, or you can do a full screen view of this as well. So I think really that is an overview of Asana. I'm sure there's more I could show you, but as I say, I just wanted to give you a high-level overview of how it works. I would strongly recommend signing up for a free trial and exploring this yourself. If you're happy with what you see, maybe just get on a plan. Asana is used by a lot of different organisations. It's used kind of extensively, and a lot of organisations use it with great effect, such as my own. We use it on a daily basis. It's been absolutely fantastic for my organisation. So I would really recommend that you give it a try at the very least and see if it's for you. So with all of that said, I hope this video is useful. If it was, please do hit the like button. That tells me I should continue making videos like this. And do consider subscribing to my channel. I do actually have an Asana playlist talking about different aspects of the functionality, some training videos on Asana. So if you do think you're going to proceed with this tool, then I would suggest subscribing and checking those videos out as well, just to make sure you're aware of all the basics. And I will leave a link in the description below if you did want to head over to Asana and get your kind of free trial. So with all of that said, I hope you have an excellent day.